Okay, hello everyone, Leo here, Chilean physician and science fiction author and editor. And in this new video...
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
This is going to be a different one. It's going to be a reading session. Why? Because we haven't done this before in the channel, and I just want to see how it goes. And because this is a short story that has the peculiarity of being the only one that I have actually published in both English and Spanish, different magazines, and that's a really cool thing, I believe.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as
And I actually got the opportunity to read this story at two conventions recently, at Balticon and at the most recent WorldCon that just happened a few days ago actually. Had a lot of fun there, went to 7 virtual meetings, panels, and it was fun. So yes, this short story has been published in English and Spanish. I have read it before at these conventions.
We know!
I know! You know, I know, I got it. I got the concept.
So the only things that you have to keep in mind with this short story is that first, it's an alternate history, and it has to do with my profession, dermatovenereologist, particularly with the venereological part, and that it's mostly a conceptual story, because that was the style that the sci-fi journal, which is a place where this was published, was looking for at that time. Well, that's their style, kind of a philosophical, historical type of narrative, which is really interesting. And by the way, the sci-fi journal, I'm very happy to have published this story there, because a friend of mine, another Chilean, got published there as well, Arturo Sierra, which is something really great to have two Chileans publishing at a submission call. That was really exciting. That happened to us, that we both got in. And also because later on, the Sci-Fi Journal, they won the European Science Fiction Award for Best Professional Magazine. So that was really, really great. So, well, big congratulations to them. And so that's where this was published. And the Spanish version, which I am also going to read... I don't think so. Got published in a Chilean magazine that I really, really like, which is the Sur magazine, Revista Sur, which is a magazine that works with, or from, or within, I guess, the University of the Frontier. Well, in Spanish is Universidad de la Frontera, UFRO, the University of the Frontier University, at the south of Chile. And this is, I think, I would say it's mostly an academic magazine. It does publish a lot of narrative, that's their style, but it has a deep connection with the academic world. So it was really nice to have a story published with them there. And that's another cool thing I would say. So, without further ado, I'm gonna read you the stories. And, well, yes, I'm wearing my scrub clothing because I just came from the hospital, but that's the only reason.
We're in, Dr. Sexy MD.
just to clarify that. Okay, so let's do this. The short story, the name of it, and, well, forgive me if I mispronounce something. Remember that English is not my first language, so sometimes I could say some words with a weird accent. I don't know. That's gonna be some flavor to it, I guess. Well, okay. I'm gonna focus. So, the story's title is Syphilus, Sisyphus.
What?
And here it goes. The case of humanity proved interesting. From the historical material collected and safeguarded, it was a poem written by the Italian physician Girolamo Fracastoro that allowed us to assign a narrative origin to this. His verses said that in a European meadow, a shepherd named Syphilus, or Syphilus, contracted a strange new disease after disobeying his gods in the midst of a foreign invasion. Syphilis sive morbis gallicus ended up naming the so-called French disease of the earth after its protagonist, as well as humanizing and giving conceptual form to the pathology. The impact on civilization of a condition perpetuated by sexually transmitted contagion had irreparable repercussions on the psyche of the species. Wood carvings such as Albrecht Dürer, the Syphilitische Mann, and ballads such as Julian Keats' La Belle Dame sans Merci are evidence of the collective tribulation. Scientific efforts found the culprit, a bacterium of the espirochete type, which they called Treponema pallidum pallidum, transmitted solely and exclusively between people, without affecting any other form of life on the planet. It was a Japanese microbiologist, Hideo Noguchi, who later demonstrated the presence of the germ in brain tissue. The sexuality of the population was restructured in the neurological and mental apparatus of its individuals. An unavoidable nightmare, as so was dreaming. The case is a clear example of a check between nature and life. Effective forms of diagnosis were invented, relentless antimicrobial treatments, and even the disciplines of dermatology and venereology were perfected. There was every possible form of prevention, from physical barriers of leather and latex to drugs that controlled the momentum of the relentless libido in the most at-risk sectors, which ended up being the whole world. Entire institutions dedicated to the monitoring and control of syphilis. The efforts, however, were described by humanity itself as a labor akin to lifting a rock up a mountainside, only to see it fall at the end of each day. The moment when it became public knowledge that the espirochete had become resistant to the latest therapies has been postulated as a cultural turning point. Famous was the speech of the Chilean academic and physician Felix Salvo before the High Commissioners of the World Health Organization, when he assured the triumph of the pathogen, the great pretender, which paled to the complexity of other known infections, a viral, bacterial, fungal, whichever it was. Humans had no use for arsphenamine and penicillin after only a couple of years of their development. Apparently, the cytoplasmic protein A filaments of the bacterium, which moved like a corkscrew, interacted with the indicated chromosomes of the microorganism to mutate it. They never knew for sure. Humanity did not have the time or the determination to continue the epic. In its defense, there are many current hypotheses that vindicate this disappointment in favor, rather, of a resolute acceptance. Eternity as an illusion awaiting an endpoint. The case of humanity leaves no sentient species indifferent, including those that are radically different in their way of reproduction and preservation. It is impossible to predict the history of the next syphilis, its moment, its time, and the color of its meadow. All the other extinct civilizations that we have managed to study in that particular region of that minor spiral arm of the galaxy ended their chronologies directly or indirectly because of warfare. The only species that did not succumb to war was humanity. After 11,000 years since the first settlements in the Tigris-Euphrates alluvial marsh, humans, in short, opted for a grand, final orgy. The end. And here comes the philosophy note, which is required at the Sci-Fi Journal. I wrote here, it says, as a dermatovenerologist, it never ceases to amaze me every time I treat a new patient with syphilis and then the many cases of reinfection that this fascinating espirochete can still be treated with a simple and common penicillin shot. The Sisyphean part of this narrative is what evoked the rest. What if the history of syphilis with humanity had been different, if it had not been a pathogen that seems to not even try to defend itself? This story takes this idea to the extreme, in terms of the cultural outcome it could have had. Voila! Tcharam! Okay, so hope you liked it. This is... sorry, just got distracted.
Keep it together, man!
Because today I've been running around. Before recording this, I was doing my Chinese homework. That's why I didn't get to change my clothing, and I have to go out right now. But I had fun doing this speed read. I did misread. I think like 2 words. I'm sorry. I think this section is gonna be called like spontaneous random reading, doing it very fast on a Friday afternoon. But so, coming back to the short story, I really hope you enjoyed it. So basically, the story it's about what could have happened if syphilis, or the pathogen itself, had taken a different turn in terms of humanity's history. And well, there are several things that I put there to let the reader create its own analysis and observations and everything that comes with that. So it can be the concept can be summarized like I just did, but I did put some little details there to so we can analyze and talk about more stuff if you like those details or those small elements that might be there. So that's the story in English, and I'm now going to, because I do have the time, I think so. Well, I will run after this, which is why this is the super fast, spontaneous speed reading Friday afternoon reading. But once again, I really hope you enjoyed this. I know it's a different kind of video. We'll see what happens if we enjoy it. We'll see what Alejandro has to say. And I'm gonna say goodbye before reading in Spanish, because it's gonna be weird for me to change to Spanish. First time I'm speaking Spanish in this channel. So what you've just seen is what happens when I try to speak Spanish in my channel. It glitches. It goes meta. Okay everyone, so that was the video. A little bit different. It was a little bit meta, you might say. This is me from another day in the future, just coming back to the video to say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed it, and to let you know that we'll keep in touch and see you on the next video. Just let me know what you thought about this one. That's it. Take care from your friendly dermatologist and science fiction author and editor, Leo. So that's about it. Take care. Bye.